Bill Belichick hit the big 7-0 over the weekend.
How about that?
And, we talk all about Brady's end game scenario for his career and Rodgers, and we focus on quarterbacks all the time. You've been around this man. You covered the team for a long time, just straight up as a beat writer, and now obviously as a national reporter. Do you think we'll ever know Belichick's plans until the last second? Like, how do you think this is going to play out when it's all said and done?
What do you call it, a septuagenarian? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
I think, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we have two of them. We have two of them now.
Pete Carroll as well.
I don't know. That might be a first. Him and Pete Carroll. I don't know if that's ever happened before, where you got two 70-something coaches in the league. I guess 70 is the new 60. I don't think we're going to have advance warning. I don't think there's going to be like a Coach K style farewell tour. I don't think you're going to get any of that.
Well, you get a whiff. Do you think you'll get a whiff or a hint, or it's just going to be one day where, whoa, Bill's decided to step away?
I think whenever he leaves it, he's going to want to leave it in good shape. One thing I can remember from covering him on the beat, and this is years ago, was like I remember like there were a couple of situations where he felt like Bill Parcells, who obviously had been his boss, had left a couple of teams in pretty rough shape, And I think there was sort of this resolve that whenever he left New England, he wasn't going to do that. Like, he wasn't going to walk away from a team when it wasn't, in better shape than he found it. And so, I do think he's driven to prove that he can win without Brady and win at a high level without Brady. I do think he wants to leave it, whoever he's leaving it to, whether that's Bill O'Brien or Matt Patricia or whoever it is that winds up succeeding him. I think he wants to leave it in good shape for whoever it is that's the coach after him. And I do think that there's, the element of it for him where he still enjoys it, Rich. And I think there's that part of it where the guy, like, he loves going to work every day. It's not as hard as it used to be because the program has been established for so long. He likes the people he's working with. His kids are at work with him, which I think I wouldn't know this yet, but I would assume is a huge thing for a guy of that age, with grown kids. I think he's sort of got it working now where he doesn't have to work quite as hard as he used to have to work to make things go. And now I think the last piece of it for him is repairing it and getting it back to the point, maybe not where it was before, but getting it back where he's handing something over to someone that's in really, really good shape. And, I think obviously drafting Mac Jones last year was a huge part of it. But I don't think we're going to get some sort of announcement. I think the signs that you'd be looking for, if you were looking for a sign, would be that the team's winning again and that the future looks bright. I'm not sure they're quite there yet. But, it does look better than it did a year ago. I think they still have a little ways to go.
Well, maybe, when he's available for the off-season workout program or what have you comes up in another week, we can get that stringer from, Vermont, who asked him twice about his New Year's resolution. We can get her out there to ask the question about his retirement plans. Maybe we should do that.
I'm sure he'll be very illuminating if he's asked that question.
Maybe she can take the bullet for us on that, to get the answer.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad thought, Rich. I can remember there was a time when, the Herald and the Globe, and this is, back in like the old newspaper wars, and I've been on both sides of that one, by the way.
Yes.
I can remember there was a time when they would send in like general assignment reporters to take bullets. And
which one did you take? Did you take one?
It's a little known fact of the Boston media, the past of the Boston media. I don't think those places have the sorts of numbers to do those sorts of things anymore.
Right.
But there was a time when there were people jumping in front of the line of fire on those ones.
Did you ever take one? Did you ever take one for the team?
I've taken lots of bullets in my day. You've heard the confrontations before.
Well, I know.
I just got to the point where I stopped caring. So yeah. No, I've been in front of that firing squad before. I mean, you are talking to the guy. You are talking to the on to Cincinnati guy. You do remember that?
That's right. You asked the question that got the famed response.
It was me and Michelle Steele, and they had just gotten blown out by the Chiefs, if you remember that, on Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
And I asked, do you think you're doing enough and acting with enough urgency to build a champion around Tom Brady. I asked that a couple different ways, a couple different times. And sure enough, they went on to win the Super Bowl and win 3 out of the next 5 Super Bowls and playing for the next 5 Super Bowls. So
You're welcome, New England.
Yeah, thank you, Albert.
You're welcome.
I guess I got my answer.
You're welcome, New England. And I guess you won't be getting the retirement scoop from Belichick when it's all said and done because of that.
Well, we'll see. I think we're in
know.
a better place than we were then.
Oh, that's good. Fantastic. We've grown. We've all grown.
I'm not gonna close that door. If he wants to do that for me, I wouldn't turn it away.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here